Hello and welcome. So I'm going to take a look at the Guardian's Quiptic crossword, and this is being published on Sunday the 18th of May 2025, and our setter is Anto. Now the Anto puzzles have caused me lots of problems over the weeks. I don't know. They're never very right. They're not much of a write-in, I'll say that much, which is what I really want from Quiptic. But I think the last one did actually take me about 20 to 25 minutes, which isn't too bad really. So I don't know. Let's go into it with curiosity and see how it goes. Difficulty opposing what's up front. Difficulty opposing what's up front. Nope. Earth cover lifted, revealing some stimulating objects. That feels like some stimulating. Some might be hidden word backwards. Cover. Earth cover is EH. HE raised. Nope. Sun immersed in drink is good for nothing. Okay, so that's an S going into worth drink. Good for nothing. Useless. What's that? Useless? No. Too many letters. Too many S's as well. Let's go with this one. Trace crime farmer reported. Trace crime. Crime's always treason, arson, murder. Trace crime farmer reported. I suggest it's to sound like a farmer. Crime. Rustling? Rustling? No, don't know. Unloved obese revolutionary is a lethal agent. Unloved. Obese is fat, well, probably fat. Revolutionary is shay. So we've got fat, shay, or red, or an up is a lethal agent. 615. No idea what that is either. Graduate, as presented, is pretty ordinary. Graduate normally BA or MA. As presented is pretty ordinary. Nope. Comes back with note on limits. Comes back with note on limits. Nope. Embarrassing display by United in passage of play. You'd think that's red face. I would have thought red faced, but it's the wrong way around. Faced red. United. No, okay, let's look at this one. Shuts down shabby stores. Scotsman has in centre. Well, the middle letters of Scotsman are TS. Or it could be an Ian. Shuts down shabby stores Ian. Scotsman has in centre. Closes. No. Being a bit pious, a blessing can work. Being a bit pious, a blessing can work. No, not getting anywhere on this, so that's quite a lot of clues I've looked at without any success yet. Heavy drinkers, topers, they say are quite rich. Heavy drinkers, quite rich, wealthy. Gosh, so I'm 11 clues into this without having actually hit one yet. Starting out, okay, Vandal expects real trouble, that's clear, there's an overt at last. On my 12th clue I get one. Price regulations, spoonerisms. Price regulations say to have no hope. I can't bother to think about it really. Keep out of sight and dodge bill. Keep out of sight, dodge bill. Something notice. Notice, bills and notice. Keep out of sight. I think that's probably notice, but I don't know. Unsaddle foal, bucking around without warning. Okay, that looks like, let's see if that foal, that could be, okay, so that looks like an anagram of that. Around without warning is all of a sudden. Try and fit the letters in the right place now. All of a sudden, there I've got that one. Whew, which completely ruins my red theory in there somewhere. Okay, let's look at the next cross. Unofficial book for everyone, showing where the public can't swim. Book for everyone would be, makes me think ball. official book for everyone showing. But ball, I can't think of a thing that would fit with ball, so it doesn't help me. Let's look at the next across. Wolverine, that's one of the superheroes, isn't it? Perhaps making our sheep restless around river. Yeah, that's superhero. Okay, I saw the O of there and just kind of went Marvel as a Wolverine's a superhero. Okay, good. Meticulous old deed, exact exact. That's the level of clue I want, please. Expanding state benefit by 2 days is an easy task. Well, so you would think that's put 2Ds into a state benefit, benefit. Dole, doddle, dole. So dole is a state benefit, and DD, doddle. Yep. Select, pick, select fish, pick for preserving. Pickle, pick, ling. Gosh, okay, ling. Is fish ling? I thought it was a heather. I'm going to scroll down and look at this next couple of clues. Just finish off the crosses. It's got a bit better down here, I'll give it that. Most reluctant to give positive response in bed. Most reluctant is probably least to give positive response in bed. Positive response is I or yes. Most reluctant would be shyest. Does that work? Shyest. SHT is not a coyest. Cot. There we are. Coyest. Got there eventually. Useless criminal sheds load, dumping heroin. So, okay, would have thought that's just anagram sheds load without an H, which is useless. It is something less, isn't it? Probably. Except I've got the E there from notice. Oh, no, it's interesting actually. I put the open superhero, but I wasn't sure that was notice. Less. Headless. Is there two? I'm a bit confused though. Headless. I've got a second. Useless. Can't be that, can it? Can't be a useless, headless. It's unlikely someone will clue it like that. So, oh, what is it? Is it? I mean, I'm not sure that. No, it doesn't. I mean, headless doesn't work anyway. So, A because I'm meant to be getting rid of the H. What's this? Odd. I'm sure there's an anagram. Criminal is an anagram indicator saying shed loads, but without the H for heroin, which puts that. I mean, I don't know. The E is definitely there, but dead loss. There, dead loss. Okay. Oh, let's scroll around a bit. Dead loss. Yeah. Okay. Not sure I would have put that down as one word, but okay, fair enough. Extremely smart is ST. Ages is enlivens. Is it acting AG from acting ES for enlivens? Fair enough. That's a nice little clue. Have a go at trendy old Italian snack. Something in Italian snack. Have a go at is to. Yeah, not sure. Come back to that. The solution has 4 search letters. That's not verified. Unchecked. Ah, very good. So yeah, the unchecked letters are like the E, the C, the H, and the N, whereas the checked letters have a they're checked by the ones that go across, the cross clues. Okay, good. What's down here? Rolls or something? Or riles? Annoyance, riles, I suppose. Force, abandoning. Let's just scroll down a bit. There. Force, abandoning weapons. Causes annoyance. Well, annoyance is riles, isn't it? Rifles. Yes, I take F out of rifles becomes riles. Flat, casually put together in a casually put together in a bright way. Yeah. Can't think it goes in there. What's this? Episodic. I think that's episodic. Yeah, in sequence. without looking at the clue, I just thought episodic fitted it, and then you can see it's an anagram of is copied. Broadcast is your anagram indicator. Okay, the bottom is looking a bit happier, although I'm not sure I'm going to be bothered to alphabet trawl 19 for an Italian snack when there's lots of things to have a go at. Unofficial book for everyone showing where public can't swim. The public cannot swim. Private, I suppose. Private. If that's correct. Flat. Casually put together in a bright way. I mean, flat. I kind of want to put a pad in there. In a bright way. Okay, something idlit, paddly. Let's say paddly, for example. Don't know. Again, I'll come back to that. I'm not sure about that. Trace chrome farmer reported. Is a scintilla. Scintilla. Okay, so tiller is a farmer. Sound like of a farmer. Somebody tills the land, and a crime is a sin. Sin. So again, both words are being sound liked. Unloved obese agent. Revolutionary is a lethal agent. Something O. Is it kind of like a spy agent or what? Will of a wisp. Okay, keep out of sight and dodge bill. That's going to be something like avoid notice. Lay low. Private. Unofficial. For everyone. I mean, everyone may think all, but that can't because unchecked is correct. Book for everyone is book would be B, but then what's my word for everyone? Private. Okay, I have to have another go at these top ones with no help up here. I mean, the bottom half's gone in quite nicely, really. Difficulty opposing what's up front. Hard. Difficulty is hard. Yeah, if that was hard, I'm not sure it is. That would then give me the H and the E. The cover of Earth is HE. The E and the H. Lifted would be he. Revealing some stimulating objects. Heroin? No. He had stimulating objects. Let's assume that's hard, and then what's R? So, good for nothing is silent immersed in drink. I need an S in there somewhere. It's not going to be, well, if that's hard. Hardship, actually, is that hardship? What's up front, hardship? Don't think so. Heavy drinkers, they say, are quite rich. Being a bit pious. Is that a hidden word? Sable can work. Usable. There's a hidden word I missed. Fair enough. Embarrassing display by United is 1. I think United is 1. Passage of play. Route 1? No, can't be route 1. Embarrassing display by United. Passage of play. Scene 1? Yeah, scene's an embarrassing display. Shuts down shabby stores. Is this going to be a last letters YSNSIN? No. Scotsman has in centre. Shabby stores. Scotsman has in centre. Shuts down his closes. Does that work? If that was closes, what have we got there? Shuts down his closes. Fair enough. Shabby is stores. Scotsman has it in centre. Doesn't really work. Let's just see if this one comes back with note on. I mean, as difficult as I find Anto, I can normally actually understand his clues once I've figured them out. comes back with note on limits. If that was now, no, graduate as presented, I don't think so. But this one, if that was BA, BA or MA, is pretty honorary. It's basis, as is, yeah. B, well actually, graduate BA as presented, as is, pretty ordinary, basis, basic, sick, I think, as presented, basic, yes. Price resolutions, price regulations, no. Comes back with note on limits. Returns. Let's have a look at this one now that I've got a B up there. Shuts down shabby stores. There's a B. Is that HAB? AB. OR. Aborts. Okay, so that's the centres of those words. Wow. Aborts. Fair enough. Comes back is re with no re on limits are re. Comes back re. Appears re. Okay. This one, keep out of sight, is to avoid notice. Avoid dodge bill is to evade, is to whatever. This unofficial private. I don't think private is unofficial really, but for everyone showing where the public can't swim. I'm just thinking that if it's the public can't do it, then it's private, isn't it? But I'm not convinced by that really. So this one that I haven't really thought too hard about, and put it on the flat. Flat, casually put together in a bright way. A bright way. Put together is to join, unity. I mean, is it a bright way, some kind of street or road? Is that way? I'm going to take private out. I'm not totally unsure about it, but I'm not convinced by it either. So I feel like that wants to be. It's not, but rapidly or something. So ly. If that was ly, partly I guess because you've got casually there. Put together. Flat. Dull. In a bright way. No, not really much going on there in my head. This one, so like have a go at. At trendy old. Well, in O is in. In is trendy. O is old. Fair enough. My Italian snacks are not good enough. Could be pan, could be wrap. I don't know what else it can be really. Pacino pack. Sap. Gelato. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not interested enough by this puzzle enough to want to actually alphabetical 3-letter word for have a go at on a word that I may or may not know on a puzzle that I'm finding hard. Difficulty opposing what's up front. I think difficulty is hardship, but I don't know why that would be hardship. Whereas opposing is anti, unloved, so unloved, obese, revolutionary is a lethal agent. I mean, obese is fat, isn't it? Normally. Obese revolutionary, so revolution could be shay, could be red, could be fat. I mean, fat doesn't really work on a lethal agent there. My brain was just saying a lethal. I was thinking of poison then, but it didn't quite connect to it. No, but it's not. I'm thinking of an of, I think. Some stimulating objects, which suggests it should be an S, but maybe it's a Latin plural, an A plural. Good for nothing. Nope. Heavy drinkers. So I've got sound light there. I mean, if there's clues people don't like it, sound lights probably. And spin rhythms. Quite rich, wealthy. Heavy drinkers. Right, I'm going to put the video on pause, not recording while I have a think to myself. Classic there. As soon as I put it on pause, I then looked at this again and went rebounds. So yeah, rebounds, bounds are limits, and come back says rebounds. So that's cool. Price regulations have no hope. Lost cause, cost laws, cost laws. Lost cause is a having no hope. Cost laws, cost laws. I don't know about that. I'm not sure I care enough to really think about it too much. So this. Maybe it's in lost cause, but I would have thought so. Cost though. Cost is definitely half the spoon a bit. Cost lost cause. Keep out of sight. Dodge is to. Anyway, I'm going to go back to pause and think. Well, within my minute or so of walking away, I've had another look at lost cause, and yeah, the cost laws. So laws are regulations. This one I'm looking at now, going, unlove the beast. Could be an anagram. Revolution could be an anagram indicator to get to lethal agent, because we've got an LO. So I did have a just go net just now, but it's unloved obese. But I'm 7. But without some helping other letters, I was thinking belladonna. That doesn't work. Of a lethal agent is something dose. Can't be a dose, can it? Because it could be something of 7. Would you leave me 007? 007 there, our lethal agent. There we are. Okay, James Bond, the 007. Wow, okay. Which means probably could be correct again there. Opposing what's up front. Difficulty, something side, I think that is. Backside? Backside? Difficulty? They say are quite rich. Right, I'm going back to pause mode again just to think to myself really. Okay, finally I've kind of alphabetical this to be escape notice. Keep outside is to escape notice, and dodge is to escape notice of the bill. That's a private beach, then B. All is each. B for book, yeah, private beach. Still, I've been looking at all the other clues really, and then I just kind of came back and thought I'd had an A in for escape, but what have we got here then? So yeah, that is private. Flat, I mean, it's a horrible clue this in terms of the surface. Flat, casually put together in a bright way. I feel like a bright way is saying lit way. Way is, I don't know where that Y is coming from. Unless it's actually W. Wispity, casually put together. Wimpidly, but what a bright way would be, I don't know. So maybe it's more of a double definition or triple definition. So my casually put together is yeah, just can't think. A word for flat. Limpidly. Limp is flat, maybe. Limp, idly. Idly, a bright way. Limpidly. I wonder if it's okay. Idly might seems a reasonable word to put in there. Or simplicity, flat, casually put together. In a bright way. Even though I'm going to sit here and say, oh, I can't be bothered, I'm somehow bothering. Limpidly. Casually put together. I think it's something idly. So that's the kind of the casual bit is idly. Yeah, I did it idly. Flat. In a bright way would be, so flat is limp flat. It's a bit limp, a bit flat. I'm going to go limpidly there. I'm not convinced, but I think that's probably right. I'll come back to that again later. So still this last four. I think this is what's up front. Is just saying like, yeah, think about like what the front of the boat is, the near side, the off side, the front, left side, the right side, port side. But none of those feel like they're difficulty opposing what's up front. Difficulty opposing is. And then what's up front is, don't know, this is a sound like of heavy drinkers to get to something that's quite rich. Is it people who are rich or is it foodstuffs that are rich? Again, what goes in there? Platinum fits, but I don't think it is. And then these two need the name of a drink, 5-letter drink with an S in it, I guess. I can't think of the only 5-letter drink I can think of is lager. Which doesn't work. Lager, cider. This is no cider and lager fit there, but I assume to get a word meaning good for nothing. Could be latte, mocha, matcha. Neither of which have got an E at the end. Sun immersed in drink. Drink could be the water, could be the ocean, but yeah, not really happening for me. And then this one. I'm assuming trying to get to stimulating objects, which are, don't know, earth cover lifted. I suppose earth cover crust, lid, a lid for lifted. It's like lifted. So I think lifted means we're going to put a word upwards to get the word downwards. That means stimulating objects. In which case that would be sod, wouldn't it? Sod would be earth, cover would be lid. Yeah, dildos. Is that dildos really? I think that's sod for earth and cover is a lid, and dildos are stimulating objects. I don't know. I feel a bit embarrassed having to put that into the Guardian crossword on Sunday. The trouble is that if that had been a different setter and different puzzle, I'd be laughing my head off. But my sense, I just have a sense of humour value at this point. It's like, oh right. Difficulty opposing what's up front is dead. Difficulty dead. If that was dead, I don't think it is actually, Sun immersed. Don't know. There. This heavy drinkers are quite rich. Lots. Heavy drinkers. Luminous. I think that's probably some kind of else word. Luxurious. Luscious. They are luscious and lushes. There's my sun, which doesn't really help me get to that top two, but I've only got, well, in theory, I've only got 3 clues left now, so, wow, it's been a bit of a workout. I would have thought difficulty of posing is dark side. If that was dark side, then that would be good for nothing is Ress. Did I say Russell? That was my sin. That was the one for crime, wasn't it? Rustling. Difficulty opposing what's up front. I don't think it is dark side, but it's the only word that feels like it fits. Dead obviously would fit those 4 letters. Dear. Sun immersed in drink, so S going into a word for drink. Let's just check out cider. Cider doesn't work. Lasker doesn't work. Lager. But let's just think through what downside. Difficulty is a downside, maybe. That is a waster, isn't it? That is water. I said water. Gosh, downside. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what that's downside, but I think it's downside. What's up front? Opposing. Okay, so oops. Yeah, so a downside is a difficulty, and opposing what's up front. Well, the opposite of up front is downside, which just leaves this one down here. As I say, my Italian snack's not great, so have a go at. I'm going to alphabet trawl this in my pause mode. I'm going to go with that being panino. If you pan someone, then pan. I think this kind of some bready thing that's pan. I think I'm trying to think of a longer word for it, but okay, let's check and see how we've done today. Gosh, everything is correct. I'm sort of stunned. Okay, I just paused while I reset this screen because it gets rid of all the ticks. It makes it a bit easier to go through the clues. And I just had a little look at my timer. I started at 8:20 in the morning, and it's now just 9:03. So about 42 minutes in total. I'm very pleased actually to complete that, especially as I wasn't convinced about panino or limpidly. I think the rest I understand. Right, let's go through. So, okay, so one across. Difficulty opposing what's up front. Well, if something's up front, the opposite of up front would be the downside. A difficulty, I would never put difficulty as being a downside, although I suppose it could be. The downside of that is that it's going to be a thing. I would just think it's a negative about it. But okay, difficulty equals downside. So double definition, I think. Shuts down is aborts. That's the definition. Then we've got has in centre, saying take the middle 2 letters of shabby, the middle 2, which is the AB, the middle 2 letters of stores, which is the OR, and the middle 2 letters of Scotsman, which is the TS. Clever clue. Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about that one. This one here, so heavy drinkers. A person who's a lush is said to be a heavy drinker, so heavy drinkers, the plural will be lushers, and they say is something sound like, and something that's quite rich is luscious, spelled this way. Being a bit is saying so being a bit is a hidden word indicator that across pious, a blessing, we have usable, and something that can work is usable. We've got an acrostic here, starting is our acrostic indicator that out, vandal expects, real trouble is overt, and something that's overt is clear. Price regulations are the spoonerisms. So spoonerisms are where you change the sound of the start at the start of each word around. So lost cause becomes cost laws, and cost is a price, and laws are regulations. So start out with cost laws, spooner it to become lost cause, and to have no hope is a lost cause. Unsaddle foal is an anagram of all of a sudden. Bucking around is your anagram indicator, and without warning. So something that happens all of a sudden is without warning. Unofficial is private apparently. B for book, and for everyone is one each, which gives you a private beach, which is where the public can't swim. Wolverine is one of the superheroes in those films, played by Hugh Jackman, I believe. I have seen a Wolverine film in one of the early X-Men films, I think. Don't watch a lot of them, but yeah. So Wolverine perhaps is saying Wolverine's an example of a superhero. So that's the definition. And our sheep is an anagram of superhero. Restless is your anagram indicator, but we also need to put it around R for river, so put an extra R in there. Meticulous is exact, that's definition. Old is X, and a deed is an act. Expanding the estate benefit by 2 days. So 2 days are the D and the D, and the estate benefit is the dole. So put 2 D's into dole gives you doddle, and an easy task, which this crossword was not, is a doddle. To select is to pick, and a ling is a type of fish, and preserving is pickling. Let's look at the next couple, which are most reluctant is coist, and to give a positive response. So the positive response is yes, going in a bed, and a bed is a cot. So coist, yes, into cot gives us coist. Dead loss is an anagram of shed loads, but we need to dump H for heroin, so take the H out of that, gives you dead loss as an anagram. Criminal is your anagram indicator, and dead loss is useless. Let's go on to the downs. Where am I? Here, somewhere. So, earth cover. So earth is sod. Lid is a cover. Lifted, say put them upwards, which means coming downwards you get the stimulating objects, which are dildos. Sun is an S going into the drink. The drink is water. So the drink, although it's obviously something that comes out of your tap or out of a bottle, depending on your proclivities. The drink is also what seamen, sailors and seamen call the sea water. Anyway, good for nothing is a waster. I kind of look at that kind of thing. I said water a couple of times, at least in my head, and I think at least once out loud, and didn't think to insert the S into it, which would have given me some. Maybe I was just a bit thick today. A trace is a scintilla, and a crime is a sin, and a farmer is a tiller, someone who tills the earth. But they're a sound alike of those words, because sin is not spelled S-C-I-N and farmer is not spelled T-I-L-L-A. Unloved obese is an anagram of 007. Revolutionary is your anagram indicator, and 007 is a lethal agent because he's got 00 on his name, so he's allowed to kill people. A graduate is a BA, Bachelor of the Arts. As presented, so sick is a term used in editing. If you type sick, it means as presented. It means the mistake that you see in the text is correct, is as it was presented to the person who's editing it. And basic is pretty ordinary. Comes back is rebounds. The note is re, as in do re mi, re. Lots of ways to spell that, but re in this case. Limits are bounds. Embarrassing displays a scene. United is 1, so put it by 1. Gives you the passage of a play, scene 1 of a play, a drama. Keep out of sight is to escape notice. To dodge is to escape, and a bill is a notice. Trying to think of an example of a bill and a notice being the same. They definitely are in crossword land. Adverts, bills, notice. I'm not sure really, but anyway, they are. The solution has four such letters. That's not verified. Okay, so double definition here. So something that's not verified is unchecked. And as I say, as I said in the description, um, the unchecked letters in a crossword So we've got checks. Checked letters are the ones U, C, E, K, D, because you can check that they are correct by getting the across clue. The unchecked letters, the N, H, C, and E, are unchecked, and there's four of those in unchecked. Broadcast is saying there's an anagram of is copied, and is copied is an anagram of episodic, and in sequence is episodic. So flat, casually put together in a bright way. So I guess I'm not entirely sure. Flat is limp, casually put together is idly, limp idly, and limpidly I'm assuming is a bright way. I may have that definition the wrong way around. Maybe flat is limpidly and somehow the bright way is something slightly different. But I think idly is casually put together. Let's scroll on down a bit more. What have we got here? Have a go at. So if you have a go at someone you pan, trendy is in and overold. And a panino is an Italian snack. I can't, like, my brain has just been, is that like the toasted bread? Kind of not toasted bread, but the bed. So I'm thinking of pan thingies. Anyway, I'm not going to, I don't know. Right, extremely says take the first and last letters of smart, which is the ST. Take the first and last letters of acting, which is the AG. Take them of enlivens is the ES, which is stages, which gives you where it's performed, and obviously so it's a bit of an all-in-one really. Extremely smart acting enlivens, and you perform acting on a stage. And finally, we've got a force is F, abandoning weapons. So rifles are weapons. Take the F out, gives you riles. Rifles becomes riles, and riles is annoyance. So there we go, all done. Well, I'm going to say thank you to Anto, because that was a bit of a challenge for a Sunday morning. More of a challenge than I would like, but got there in the end. So thanks for watching.